Today, let's discuss about the conditional statements in your C program. So, the conditional statements are also called as decision control structure, which works on a particular condition or a particular decision. Okay, and here you have four types of condition statements. You have if else, nested if, and if else ladder. Okay, so first we'll see about your if condition. And if statement is used when you have to write or execute a particular code only for one particular condition. Okay, so in that case your if condition is used, and the syntax is if condition, then you can write the statement to execute. So if that condition is true, that statement will be executed, otherwise it will not be executed. Okay, so that is your if condition statement. Next, your if else. In if else you can execute two kind of this or that statements. Okay, in if else statement you can execute two statements which is like this or that. Okay, if some condition you'll be giving, if that condition is true, that block will be executed. If the condition is false, your else block will be executed. So that is your if else statement. Okay, so this is the syntax of your if else statement. If some condition, if that condition is true, your first block will be executed, otherwise your else block will be executed. So that is your if else statement. This is one simple program for that. So here the condition is if greater than 15. That condition, if it is true, printf 10 is greater than 15 will be executed. But this condition is false because I is equal to 10. So here printf I am not in if, that will be your output. Okay, so this is your if else program. And sorry, this is your if program. Okay, so this is your if program. This is your if program. Next is your if else. Okay, this program is for your if else. So here if I is less than 15, if that condition is true, I is smaller than 15, that line will be printed. If I less than 15 is false, then I is greater than 15, that line will be printed. So here we have declared I is equal to 20 already. Okay, so obviously I less than 15 condition is false. So which line will be executed? I is greater than 15, your else block will be executed. Okay, so output is I is greater than 15. Okay, so that will be your output. So this is one example of your if else. Next, your nested if else statement. In that there will be a if statement inside your if statement. Okay, so that is your nested if, and this is your syntax. This is your syntax. Okay, so you'll have an if condition, and inside that if condition again you'll have an if else. Okay, and for that main if you will be having an else, inside that else also you'll be having another if else. Okay, so that is your nested if, and if else inside another if else. Okay, so that is your nested if else. So this is one example for that. Okay, if I is equal to 10, that is your main if. Inside that you have one if else. Okay, inside that you have one if else. So this is your nested if. Next is your else if ladder. Okay, when you have multiple options to execute. Okay, in if else you can execute only two, but when you have multiple options to execute, you can use your if else ladder. And if the condition is true, that particular statement alone will be executed. The other statements will not be executed. Okay, so your if else ladder works just like your switch program. Okay, so this is the syntax of your if else ladder. So if condition, then else if you'll having another condition, then again else if another condition. Okay, and finally you will have your else. Okay, so this is your if else ladder. Okay, so this is one example of your ladder. Okay, so if I is equal to 10, that is your first condition. Next you give else if I is equal to 15, then else if I is equal to 20. So when you have multiple options to be printed, you can use this else if ladder. Okay, or you can tell it as if else ladder. Okay, so next we'll go to your switch statements. Your switch statement is your multi-way branching statement. Okay, where you can use this as a substitute for your long if else statements. Okay, so here only one statement, whichever is true, that will be executed. Okay, so here also you'll be giving a condition which you'll be getting from the user. In case when you're getting from the user, and if the block alone is whichever is true will be executed. Okay, so in the switch you will be evaluated based on a particular value based on evaluated based on the certain condition, and next it will go to that condition block and only that block will be executed. The others will not be executed because instrument break. Okay, so when we give break, only that loop will be printed and then it will come out. Okay, so this is your syntax for your switch statement. First switch, then your expression. That expression you can initialize or you can get from the user. Okay, then you have case first. First case is case value 1. This is the basic syntax. So when the switch expression points to case value 1, that statement will be executed. Then you have a break statement, so it will come out of the loop. Okay, if your switch expression is 5, then the fifth statement alone will be executed and it will come out of your loop. Okay, so this is your switch statement. So this is your switch case. Okay, and the main point to note here is in switch case you can use only character and integer. Okay, and the statement which we are using, that break statement and default statement, is optional. It is not mandatory, but if you use, there will be a smooth functioning of the program. But even if you didn't give it, it's okay. So according to your program you can ignore your default and break statement also, but the case value here must be only character and integer. So this is one example. You have switch variable. Here we have declared variable is 1. In case if you are getting from the user, whichever case is applicable, it will go to that case and it will come out of the program. So here int variable is equal to 1. So here the case 1 alone will be printed. Case 1 is matched. That alone will be printed. Okay, so this is all about your switch statements.